Now, this Toyota diesel truck is nice, too. It gets fantastic truck mileage. And this tough Toyota diesel truck can carry 2 people comfortably and 1,000 pounds of feed, or 1,000 pounds of wire, or 110 gallons of milk, or camping and fishing gear for 2 weeks. Delivers like a diesel, works like a truck.
Hey everybody. So a while back, I acquired this old truck, and honestly, I had no clue what I was going to do with it. And honestly, I was actually going to pass it up, but when I walked around to the tailgate and saw what it said, I had to have it. There you go. 5-speed diesel. I had to have it. I have always wanted a factory Toyota diesel. And I am very happy and proud to say that now I do own one. Yeah, it's a 2-wheel drive, but oh well, it's a start. So I've had this truck for, oh, let's see here, about a half a year. I got it early this spring, and just been driving it. Been using it like a car pretty much. And I finally figured out what I wanted to do with this truck. I knew I wanted to do something. I decided that, you know what? Let's just take it out as is, see how it does. Because I feel like we get so caught up with social media and product. You know, there's a lot of companies that post their product on social media, and a lot of people think that, oh, in order for me to go out and adventure and go out in the overland, I have to have these things. I have to have them. Well, no, you don't. So that's what this trip is all about. This trip, I'm going back to basic, and we're taking this old 1981 2-wheel drive Toyota pickup, long bed, with the 2.2 naturally aspirated diesel, the manual 5-speed. We're going to take it out on an adventure. And are we going to push it off-road? No, not really. You know, we're going to drive it within its limits. But we are going to get out and have a good time, go camping, go adventuring. This is going to be absolutely an amazing time. I already can tell. Well, the destination that we're heading to, oh, we got a vehicle coming. Mike, looks like we got a vehicle coming down at us. I'm just gonna pull off here. So the destination that we are heading to is the Middle Fork Powder River.
Like he had the same idea.
Yeah, that was nice of him. I've never been here before. I'm excited to check it out. It's a new location on the Bighorn Mountains. It's the southern eastern part of the Bighorn Mountains. There's two things that I want to achieve with this trip. One, catch a fish with my fly rod. And two, let's really see what this little Toyota truck can do in a two-wheel drive bone stock configuration. You know, I'm already. Let's just have a good time with back to basics. You know, really, and I mean, well, basic though. I have a few little things to just help me out with charging the batteries on the camera gear, but other than that, like, I'm basic. Woo woo. I'm already having a lot of fun. And that was just a little dip in the road. That was nothing. Oh, and I do have to say, this truck needs some shocks desperately. They are completely blown out. And I got a good story about this little truck that I would love to share with you guys around camp, and also what my plans are for it. But woo, the views are spectacular. Oh, this is awesome. We made it.
Yeah.
Except for one thing. That is a heck of a long way down to the river over there.
I don't think we're fishing that. Looks like there's a picnic table over there.
Yeah, that goes out. Yeah, it goes out to a point. Well, that's what I wanted to check with you, is see, do we want to just kind of outlook this, or do we want to go you can go up that road farther, and it keeps going up and up and up and up and up, and there's another area that kind of like you can go out to the brim of it and we'll be in the trees more, but I don't really care. I just thought I would check with you.
It doesn't matter to me. It's plenty warm right here.
Oh gosh, yeah, it is.
But we're out of the wind a little bit.
Yeah.
Are there more spots? I mean, like right up there. Is that too close to that guy?
No, we could check that out, and we could even go out to the point and check out there.
Yeah.
And if we don't see anything that we like, that's what I was saying, we can go up the road farther. I really don't care. So
well, I think if we just set up to where, you know, the midday sun and the afternoon sun, and we'll get shade on the right side of our vehicles.
Yeah, that's gonna be the hard part. Only spot that I could think of is right over there where that picnic table is.
It's awful close to that guy, and he looks like he's got a good home base set up already.
Yeah.
To be that close.
Yeah. Well, let's just drive out to the
way I can turn around up there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's just drive out there, see what it looks like, because here's another thing. I really wanted to fish.
Yeah.
And this is way too much of a hike to get down to the river for me.
There's no way to get down there.
Because
anyway, there might be a path, but that's a hell of a hike up.
Yeah, and that's more than I want to do.
Yeah. So you're thinking about going, let's do this way and come back and go that way, and then make up our mind? We don't have to start, right? Okay.
Cool, okay. Chuck's doing awesome. Cool. So I went down to Idaho Falls to get this with Mike, and since we've got it, unfortunately we had to do a lot of work to it. Not a whole lot, but it had a SLE off-road 6-inch lift. We got rid of that, put it back onto a 3-inch Old Man Emu lift, new Fox shocks. It had 35s on it. Mike just went to a 33. Yeah. And
wanted a more classic look.
Yeah.
I did, you know, I'm more overlanding than rock crawling. So
yeah.
I don't need the big stuff.
Right. And but with everything that you changed to it, you've been loving it though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's been a nice setup. And then he just got the T-Rex, which excited to check that out. He's currently like in the phase of figuring out where everything goes, and I just threw everything in the back of the truck. Awesome, cool. Well, let's see what we can find, and then we'll just keep going if it doesn't work out.
Okay.
Awesome.
When I was exploring on Google Earth one day, I stumbled upon this area, and for some reason it really piqued my interest. And the more that I dug into investigating of what this area is like, I discovered about the fishing, and just more and more things started stacking up. So that is why I reached out to Mike and said, hey, do you want to go check out this place? But it is so hard to dictate what the ground truly is like when you're just looking on Google Earth. And when we arrived at this canyon, which I knew was here, I did not realize how truly amazing this canyon is.
Well, no go for this campground. It's just too exposed, and it's got an amazing view of the river, but it's all the way, it's like 50 miles down in that canyon. No, not really, but it is It is insane. Absolutely insane how far that is down there. Like, when I was scoping it out on the maps, I did not think that it was that far down there. Oh my goodness. So, we may have to drive a little ways to go fishing, which is okay. Well, we're gonna go farther up the road. Now, it was a maintained road all the way to the campsite. And now, 2-track in it. Oh, yeah, we want to find something that's a little bit better for setting up camp. And it's pretty cool because actually, if I had a better truck, I mean, I could really push it if I wanted to, but if I had a four-wheel drive truck, this route that we're going on right now is it's going to take us up onto the Bighorn Mountains, and you can access, I can't think of the name of the road, but you could take this all the way up to an established road that runs across the top of the Bighorns. Ooh, this is going to be a good section. We've got some rock with sand. Oh, and should I ask, or should I say, this truck doesn't have any power steering. Woo! Hey, she's just floating right across this. Oh my gosh, this is great. Oh, that was nothing. I thought that was going to be a whole lot harder. Oh my gosh, that was nothing, and I didn't even air down the tires yet. So, I know we don't have our radios anymore because that one died.
Yeah.
What do you think of this spot?
I like it.
Okay.
Shade.
There's a fire pit. On the other side of that tree is a nice sandy spot that I could put my tent.
Exactly.
Okay.
You won't be on these rocks.
And then, why don't you come out and take a look real quick? So, it looks like they dug some holes right there to potentially put, like, back something in.
Yeah.
Or, Mike, we can get you back in over here and it'd be a little bit more flat-ish to be able to level out.
Yeah, there's quite a bit.
Yeah, what about right here? I think if I help you, if I help direct you, I think we can get you right in here, and then you've got
right
the.
All right.
And,
It's pretty flat right here.
It's got a little slope that way, but yeah, if we get if we.
Bring my...
But no, you don't have to, because you've got 2 jacks on the back of the trailer.
Yeah.
Plus the tongue jack. So what that will do is it'll tripod out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think if we get you right in this area,
Facing.
you'd have to back in. So the back, you would be uphill for your back. Yeah.
Facing this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'll give it a shot.
You get okay. I'll back up here to get out of the way, and then.
And then we'll just make about 42 attempts.
Oh, you'll get it. Yeah. So I'm gonna back in right over here.
Okay.
And then we'll get you situated.
Got it.
Okay. And we got firewood, but I think there's a fire ban right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is, but
Yeah.
you can have a little crackle.
Well, I brought my fireplace.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
We'll just set it down inside.
There's a really big fire going on the north of the Bighorn Mountains right now, over by where Mike lives. What was it, raining ash on you the other day?
Yes, it was like snowing.
Oh, yeah.
And then the sun, you took a picture of the sun and it was orange.
Oh my gosh.
It looked like it was a moon, not a sun.
And I saw some of the smoke cloud as I was coming over Highway 16. It was pretty,
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
yeah. Cool. All right, well, we'll get ourselves situated here, and then, and we got a decent view, you know?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Out of the wind in here tucked a little
A little bit, yeah,
I like
okay.
it. Yeah.
Good deal. Okay, all right, I'm gonna back the truck in right here, and then, yeah, we'll go from there.
Mike and I really lucked out with finding this camp spot, and even though it's just right off the road, it really wasn't all that bad, because I think the whole time that we stayed here, we only had a couple of vehicles go by us, and they did it relatively slow. Another really nice feature about this camp spot is the entire area was nothing but soft sand, which made it really nice and comfortable for walking around the camp spot, and also it made it really nice for me since I decided to sleep in my tent on the ground. And even though I did have a mattress pad to help me out, having sand to sleep on instead of rocks made it really nice.
Yeah, tell me if you like that. The very last night of the trip.
John, this is awesome.
Yes,
Thanks for including me.
of course.
Appreciate the friendship dearly. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, bud. Very, very nice. Yum. What an awesome day. This campsite is amazing. So I saw that on Google Earth. The river was down in a canyon, and I had no clue on the depth of the canyon. But oh my goodness, it's like the Grand Canyon over here. This is crazy. And it's not the first time I've actually seen this. The Bighorn Mountains surprisingly have a lot of these canyons that have carved their way into the earth, and it's absolutely spectacular. Mike and I were talking about when we were coming up here that we actually almost didn't even feel like we were in Wyoming because the landscape just completely changed. It was really cool, and camp is amazing. We actually have sand all around us. We've got these pines for cover, and we've got an amazing view, an absolutely amazing view. And Smokey, he did awesome, absolutely awesome. Now tomorrow we're planning on actually going back down the road, and we found a public access on the Hole in the Wall Ranch. So we're gonna go down there, park for the day. We may just pile in one vehicle, and we're gonna just go fish down that way and probably hike our way up the canyon versus going all the way down and then all the way back up. So, but I'm so impressed with the truck. To get here today was about a 5-hour drive for me. Smokey is slow. That diesel's only got a whopping 60 horsepower at sea level, brand new. And the truck, I think, has got just a skosh over 200,000 miles on it. And I know for a diesel that's nothing, but, and also the elevation up here, right now camp is at 6,000 feet elevation. So no turbo does really suck. But I've got some big plans, and I'm going to talk about Smokey tomorrow around the campfire. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my drink, and I'm going to go sit by the campfire with Mike, and we're going to talk about overlanding and life and adventuring. So I will see you guys in the morning. Have yourself a good night, and we'll do some awesome fishing tomorrow. Hopefully we catch that big fish, you know, that monster that I caught out of the creek. Awesome. Anyways, all right, we'll see you guys in the morning. Oh my gosh, was oh, excuse me. Last night was rough. So the tent was comfortable. I'm on a nice sleeping pad, so that wasn't, like, comfort wise, wasn't a bad deal. What was rough about last night was the wind. Oh my gosh, it blew and blew. It started back up around 9:30, and then Mike and I decided to call it a night around 10, and it blew, and it got harder and harder and harder and harder, and oh my gosh, there was times where, like, the tent was, like, completely, I felt it, like, it completely folded over onto me, just laying here like this. And so I've got that part open just for a little bit of ventilation, and there is so much sand in here. I could feel it throughout the night when I was moving my feet around and stuff. There's so much sand just from that little bit being open. And it's a screen. But just that little bit, there's so much sand in here from the wind blowing so hard. And I don't know what time. it finally stopped, but when it stopped blowing is when I pretty much fell asleep, like solid. I was in and out here and there, but yeah, not until that wind stopped blowing is when I really fell asleep. So, so definitely gonna be a coffee morning. Definitely. So I think I will go ahead and get dressed and climb on out and start getting some coffee made. Enjoy the morning for a little bit, get some breakfast, and then we'll go fishing. We'll go fishing today. So I am excited about that. And also, let's see how our view is for this morning. More or will that?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Okay, you got it, bud.
I know there's plenty. I like to. That's perfect.
Hamburger steaks or something like that.
Alrighty, we are all ready to head out and go fishing, which I'm very excited about. Let's get the old girl fired up. Let the glow plugs start. I'll do it one more time. Alright, here we go. That's why she's named Smokey. Awesome. Oh, this is going to be a good day. I just know it. I'm excited. This is going to be awesome. Well, Mike is, he went ahead down to the camp ground and he's going to hang out there for a little bit. And I'm going to catch up with him. So, yeah, let's go have some fun. So I wasn't in the market for this truck at all. I was actually looking for a full-size truck to bring to the channel. I've been contemplating about doing a build for the channel for all the full-size people, and I don't have any plans on that yet, so don't think that I've got something. Do I want to? Yes. Will it happen? Eventually. So truck's just idling in first gear right now, going down these bumps. God, I love the torque of the diesel. So I stopped. Oh, that's not good for the camera. Okay. So I stopped at a person's house in town because they had a full-size truck that I was curious about. And I asked him, hey, would you be interested in selling that truck? And of course, no, because they had sentimental value to it and whatnot. And I get that. I respect that. You know, that's been that way for me as well. So, you know, chit-chatting with them a little bit, they go, well, we got another truck out on the farm that we'd be interested in selling. And it wasn't this truck. It was a truck just like the one that I was interested in. So I go out and I take a look at the truck that they wanted to sell, and it was a nice truck. It would have been perfect for what I wanted to do, but their asking price was a little bit higher than what I wanted to give. So I just kind of, you know, pushed it off in my mind, and I was like, well, do you have any other vehicles that, you know, you'd be interested in getting rid of? And the gentleman's like, oh yeah, I got this little Toyota pickup in the, you know, around back. And you know me, Toyota, oh, let's go see what it is, right? And so I walk around the corner and I see this truck. I'm just like, okay, it's just a two-wheel drive truck, no big deal. Like I was actually going to pass on getting this truck because I had two-wheel drives in the past, and yes, it's my most favorite body style, but it's just nothing special about it, right? So then I start walking around the truck, and I see diesel on the tailgate, and I'm like, no way, no way, no way. And so I asked him, I said, is it a diesel? And he goes, oh yeah, it's a diesel. I'm like, oh shh. No. And so he popped the hood, and there's the engine, and I'm just like, oh crap, what do you want for it? I gotta have it. I didn't say I gotta have it, but I just like, well, what do you want for it, you know? But in my mind, I'm just like, oh, John, you gotta get this, you gotta get this, you gotta get this, don't pass this up, you gotta get this truck. He told me how much he wanted for this truck, which, do I share with you guys? All right, I'll share with you guys. He told me $500 for this little truck. And I couldn't pull my wallet out fast enough. I really couldn't. So he let me do fluid changes and stuff at his place, and it was sitting for about 4 years, and the thing fired up and away it went. And I've been driving the snot out of this little truck since then. But what's really cool is that the gentleman's dad is the original owner. I'm the second owner for this truck, and he bought this truck. It's a 1981. He bought it in 81 right off the dealership in Powell, Wyoming. And according to the son who sold it to me, this truck has been everywhere. He used it to go over to South Dakota and back. He used it to go up into the mountains. The guy was his dad, the original owner, was just a big time fisherman. So it feels so cool to be able to take this truck out and go on a fishing trip with it, because that's what the guy used it for. It was his fishing truck. And so here we are this weekend. We're going to test the limits of what it can do without damaging it, and we're going to go fishing. So yeah, I thought that was just a cool story to share with you guys of the history of the truck and how I acquired it.
Well, I caught up with Mike and we are good to go for the day. So let's head on down to the ranch and let's do some fishing.
Well, here we go. Just got it from Mike. Well, we made it all the way down to the very bottom of where the river comes out of the canyon. But it's on this private ranch area, and a sign that I thought it said public access to the river down here. No, I was mistaken. So we're gonna go back up the mountain. We're gonna do some exploring with the vehicles and see what Smokey here can do. And then we're gonna come back and just, I guess, hang out around camp, and we'll discuss a few things, like what I envision for this truck and what I want to do with it. And then we might chat about a few other things too. we made it, I think, as far as we're gonna go. Ugh. Woo, what a drive. So, if we continue to go that way, that will take us farther up onto the Bighorn Mountains, and for how much traffic that I see going on this road, honestly, I don't think I need a pre-run anymore for further exploring, especially with the little truck. We kind of had a late day, this, you know, with the W last night. We slept in actually quite a bit this morning, so it was nice to yeah, it was nice to sleep in. But what an amazing drive. Smoky for the win. Oh yeah. But just absolutely gorgeous. Mike is loving the new Land Cruiser. Aren't you, sir? So, since he got it, new suspension, new wheels and tires, new shocks. He's been going through and fine-tuning it. It's a great vehicle, but the person who had it before him stopped doing maintenance, so he's been going through and basically giving it a fresh start, so he knows that, you know, everything has been taken care of, and then from that point on he can do the maintenance himself. But the rig looks amazing. Doing great?
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome, bud. Awesome. I can't wait to get my Land Cruiser going. But Smokey here just completely blew me out of the water on how well it did. There was a couple of times that I did drag the belly, and the lowest thing on this truck is the exhaust. The exhaust comes in from the passenger side, then cuts over, and then goes down the driver's side to avoid the fuel tank. So that's the only thing that's the lowest point on this truck. Other than that, it's got pretty decent ground clearance, and it's actually kind of a flat belly since it doesn't have the transfer case. But just absolutely stunning area. We saw an old cabin back up that way. I don't think we're gonna go to it, but I think we're gonna call this the end of the road, and we're gonna head back down to camp and relax. And we're gonna talk about, when we get back to camp, what my future plans are for this truck, because I've been thinking pretty heavily about what direction I want to go with this truck. And I'm excited to share with you guys, and I'm also curious as to, I have an idea for another trip. So we'll talk more about that. But I think I'm gonna drain some water out of me and head back to camp. And when we get back to camp, I'll see you guys back there, and we'll continue talking about Smokey, the 1981 Toyota pickup. Well, sir, what a day.
Yep.
What a day.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Oh, feels good to be back at camp.
Yeah.
Oh. I am still baffled on everywhere that little truck went. I kept on thinking every time I went over a bump, I was kind of cringing a little bit, like, oh, I'm gonna bang it. Oh, I'm gonna road. No, there was only 2 times that I think I hit the cross member, or the muffler, the exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
And then I think once or twice where the rear bumper tapped a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, nothing. Like, and I wish I had low range, because there was a few times where, like, you know, I was letting it chug to go as slow as I could, and then I like floored it, and there was no response. It was just like,
Yep.
I'm trying, you know. And so, like, had to push in the clutch and give her some more R's to try to clutch it through, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, that was fun. I wish I could have gone just a skosh a little bit slower, just make it not quite so bad. But and if I had new shocks, that'd make the ride a whole lot better and air down. But I thought about it. I was like, man, I was thinking about airing down for the way back, but I didn't want to lose any ground clearance.
Yeah, exactly.
So. So since I bought the truck, I have gone over multiple things of what to do with it. And for the longest time, I told myself that I was just going to leave it as a two-wheel drive truck and just have it as like a little daily drive commuter. And that's honestly what I do. I use it for running around all over the place. Anywhere that I need to go, when it's just me or one other person, I always take the truck because of how good of a gas mileage it is. I topped off the tanks in Grable, Wyoming, drove down to Worland, went over the Bighorn Mountains into Buffalo, came down to here, did all of the driving today, and I'm like just a little bit under 3/4 of a tank of fuel, which is crazy. So as a runaround truck, it's great for that, but I love the four-wheel drive versions of this truck. And my first off-road truck that I had was a 1983 short bed, not a long bed, four-wheel drive, and I fell in love with that truck. I drove it everywhere in the mountains. So that's kind of more or less the direction that I want to go with this truck. Is I would like to convert it to a four-wheel drive, and I'm debating on whether or not to keep the 2.2 engine, or I've got a 3-liter 1KZ TE. It's a Toyota 3-liter turbo diesel at home that I bought a long time ago for a project. And I thought about swapping that diesel engine into the truck because I think it's 130 horsepower and like 212 foot-pounds of torque at like 5 psi boost. So I know you can turn that particular engine, you can go all the way up to 14 pounds of boost before you have to start supplying it with more fuel. So as far as engine wise, I'm not for sure. I think it would be a lot of fun to keep the original 2.2 and put a turbo on it, just for, you know, the sake of that it's an original diesel engine. That's what came in that truck. Now if I kept the truck completely bone stock but converted it to four-wheel drive, sure, that 2.2 would be fine if I put a small turbo on it and gave it maybe 5 pounds of boost. If I could push it up to 10 pounds of boost, that'd be nice. But this is Toyota's first diesel engine that they put in their, you know, in the trucks for you know, selling to the public. So it's got its flaws, and what I've heard is that these cylinder heads, they're kind of susceptible to heat. They crack out. So I don't really want to invest in a lot of time and energy into an engine where like potentially the cylinder head could crack out. Now this is the 2L. And then they've got the 3L version, which is the 2.4. And I heard that they're virtually the same engine, but they changed the cylinder head configuration in the castings and stuff to prevent that from happening. So my thought is like, oh, well, I've got actually a whole nother block for a 2.2 and the crank and the pistons and all that stuff, and I thought I could rebuild the bottom end and then find a 2.4 liter, a 3L cylinder head, and put that on top and essentially make a 2.4, a 3L engine that's, you know, turboed. But is it worth investing all that time and energy into that, or do I just use a much more powerful diesel engine that I've already got? And the reason why I'm thinking of more or less going to the bigger engine is because my ultimate goal with this channel is to travel around the world. So I want to build a vehicle that I will be internationally traveling with. And I know there's better vehicles to do this with, but with the vehicles that I currently own, I want to do it in Smoky because it's an international platform. You could still find parts for this truck pretty much everywhere in the world. If not, they're laying on the side of the road somewhere. But the beauty about it is if I use a four-wheel drive chassis or whatnot, the wheel bearings for a solid front axle is the exact same on an FJ80 Land Cruiser. So, or an FJ60 Land Cruiser, an FJ40. So I can get parts for it, is what I'm saying. Parts for it would be quite easy to get. And the 1KZTE engine, that 3-liter turbo diesel, is an engine that there's still a lot of parts available, even from Toyota, for that engine, because they ran it in the Hilux, they ran it in the Surf, which is the 4Runner, they ran it in the Land Cruiser Prado, and then they also ran it in the Toyota Hi-Ace van. So to me, it makes a little bit more sense just to go that route by putting that larger engine in. So that's more or less like what I have envisioned for that truck. Is that truck is going to be the international platform. And what I want to do is essentially build like an Alucab canopy camper for the back of the truck. And the fact that it's a 7-foot bed makes it so nice, you know, being a long bed, because worst case scenario, if we're in like a really high wind or security needs to be quite high, one person can sleep on the bench because the bed will be divided up that I have envisioned. One side will be a bench, the other side would be the kitchen. And so if I design the kitchen just right to where everything can be flush, then worst case scenario, we could, one person can sleep on one side and then the other, or if need be, floor and the bench, But the fact that it's a 7-foot bed is quite nice, and being able to, it just gives me a lot more room to work with. So, yeah, I want to convert it to 4-wheel drive. I want to build a canopy camper for it. 33s is all I need. I don't need to go any bigger than that. So that's more or less what I have envisioned for this truck, is to build it to travel around the world. So let me know what you guys think of that of that vision. That's that's ultimately my goal and where I want to take this channel, is travel around the world. And you know, I was thinking, you know, like I shared with you guys earlier today, how cool would it be to take the truck the way that it is all the way up to Alaska and all the way to Prudhoe Bay. And of course I would do a few things to it, like better tires, better shocks, stiffer, or you know, leaf spring pack that can handle a lot more weight, my rooftop tent, my 12-volt cooler, you know, things like that, you know, but still leave it as a 2-wheel drive diesel. Let me know. I want to know if you guys think I should do that. A trip to Alaska with the truck the way that it is. And comment down below if you think if I should do that, because I'm thinking in about a 2-year time frame I'll be making my way up to Alaska. So if you think I should, that give me 2 years to prep that truck for going up there in the 2-wheel drive version. So I think it would be cool, because you see all these people with their 4-wheel drives going up there. Now granted, we've got some friends that live up in Alaska. They see a ton of motorhomes going up there in the summertime. They're only 2-wheel drive. Now I wouldn't be able to do any crazy off-road trails up in Alaska, but honestly, I mean, I know there is some, but if I was to go up to Alaska with the 4-wheel drive truck, I wouldn't really be going on those roads anyways, because I need this vehicle to be able to survive the entire journey and get me back down to Wyoming. So yes, I have a trail picked out that I was going to do if I took a 4-wheel drive vehicle up there, but the rest of it was just going to be like the Dalton Highway, you know, gravel roads. So that thing could easily handle it. So comment down below and let me know what you guys think. If I should do Alaska with the truck being in 2-wheel drive or not. And comment down below and let me know what you guys think about building this truck for traveling around the world. And if you want to see that happen, help me get there. Support the channel by going over to dboverland.com and pick yourself up a hat, a hoodie, a t-shirt. I've got nice rain jackets. I've got long sleeves for you gals. I've got tank tops, you know. Go over to the channel and get yourself a t-shirt and show your support. It will go a long ways in helping me, you know, be able to get the vehicle built to go do that, and to be able to take you guys along on that amazing journey. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking for Old Smoky. I absolutely had a blast driving it today. It was a little rough. It was a little rough with the bad shocks and all that stuff, but oh my gosh, it was one of those smiles for miles today for sure. So, well, thank you guys for coming along on this awesome adventure. Yeah, I know we weren't able to do some fishing, but we got to finally take Smoky out on an adventure, see what he could do, and now got a good idea of where we want to take Smoky. So, well, anyways, I think Mike and I, we're gonna get something, make something to eat, get the fire going, and we're just gonna chill, hang out for the rest of the evening, enjoy ourselves. I think so. So until next time, guys, we'll see you out on the trail. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video with friends and family, and we'll catch you later.